A story about loyalty, courage, and standing up for what's right. Las Vegas, 1961. The most glamorous city in America. A place where anything seemed possible. But it was also a place where the color of your skin could determine what doors were open to you. Where power and money could buy you anything, except the right to be treated like a human being. Sammy Davis Jr. was a superstar. He could sing, dance, and perform like few people ever could. But on one terrible night, his talent wouldn't matter. His success wouldn't matter. His fame wouldn't matter. He would be thrown out of a casino. Publicly humiliated. Treated like he didn't belong. But then Frank Sinatra did something that shocked the entire city. He said 5 words that changed everything. 5 words that challenged the system itself. 5 words that would echo through history. And those 5 words, they would transform Las Vegas forever. 2 friends in a city divided. To understand this story, you have to understand Las Vegas in 1961. The city was booming. Money was flowing. The casinos were making fortunes. And the casinos were controlled by powerful men who made the rules. One of those rules was unspoken but absolutely clear. Black entertainers could perform in the casinos. They could make the owners money. But they couldn't stay in the hotels. They couldn't eat in the restaurants. They couldn't sit at the tables. They couldn't use the same bathrooms as white guests. It was the law of segregation, playing out in the bright lights of Sin City. Sammy Davis Jr. was born in 1925, and his life was a journey of incredible talent meeting terrible injustice. His father and his uncle were both entertainers, so Sammy grew up on stage. By the time he was a teenager, he was already performing professionally. He could do everything: sing jazz, perform comedy, dance with incredible energy, play multiple instruments. But being talented in America in the 1950s and early 1960s didn't protect you if you were black. Sammy faced discrimination everywhere. He was in a car accident in 1954 that cost him his left eye, but that tragedy didn't slow him down. He came back more determined than ever. By 1961, Sammy Davis Jr. had become a major star. He was performing at the Sands Hotel in Las Vegas, one of the most prestigious casinos in the city. His shows were legendary. Audiences lined up for hours to get tickets. He was earning serious money for the casino owners. Frank Sinatra was already an icon by 1961. He was one of the most famous men in the world. His voice was legendary. His charm was undeniable. He could do anything he wanted in this city. The casino owners loved him because he brought in crowds. The audiences loved him because he was extraordinary. But Frank and Sammy had something more important than fame and money. They had friendship. They had met years earlier and formed a real bond. Frank genuinely liked Sammy. He respected his talent. He appreciated his humor. And importantly, Frank seemed to understand something that many powerful people didn't understand. That skin color had nothing to do with a person's worth. Frank and Sammy performed together whenever they could. They did shows together at the Sands. They hung out together offstage. They were friends in a time and place where that friendship was controversial. The Sands Hotel was controlled by men who didn't see it that way. They saw Sammy as an entertainer, a tool to make money, but not as a person worthy of dignity. One evening in late 1961, something was going to happen that would test Frank's friendship with Sammy in the most important way possible. Sammy had finished his show to incredible applause. The audience had loved him. He'd given them everything he had. He was exhausted but happy, the way performers feel after a great performance. After the show, Sammy wanted to relax. He wanted to sit down somewhere quiet. So he decided to go to one of the casino restaurants to have a late dinner. It was a simple decision. The kind of thing anyone would do after finishing an intense performance. But for Sammy, it would turn out to be the kind of decision that changed history. He walked into the restaurant wearing his stage clothes. He was still dressed up from his show. The maître d' looked at him, and something changed in his expression. Recognition turned to coldness. "I'm sorry," the maître d' said quietly. "We're not serving any more tonight." It was a lie. The restaurant was still serving other customers. Sammy could see people eating at tables. "I just finished the show here," Sammy said, keeping his composure. "I'd just like to have dinner." The maître d' stepped closer to Sammy. "Look," he said, his voice low but firm. "You can perform here, but you can't eat here. Those are the rules. Now I'm going to need you to leave." Sammy felt something die inside him. He had given this casino everything. He had given the audience an incredible performance. He had made money for these people. And he still wasn't allowed to sit down and eat a meal. But what happened next was even worse. Public humiliation in the place of glory. The Maître d' didn't just tell Sammy to leave quietly. Instead, the Maître d' called security. He did it in front of other customers. He did it loud enough for people to hear. "We have a situation," the Maître d' said to the security guards. "This man needs to leave the restaurant. Now." Sammy realized what was happening. He wasn't being asked to leave. He was being escorted out. He was being treated like a criminal. Like someone who didn't belong in the restaurant of the hotel, where he had just performed for hundreds of people. The security guards approached Sammy. One of them grabbed his arm. It wasn't gentle. It was the kind of grab that was meant to humiliate. "Come on," one of the guards said. "Let's go." Sammy didn't resist. He knew that resisting would only make it worse. But his heart was breaking. His pride was being crushed in front of people he'd just entertained. As he was being walked out of the restaurant, other guests stared. Some people looked sympathetic. Some people looked away, uncomfortable. Some people didn't care at all. But one person was watching very carefully. Frank Sinatra *** was in the casino when this happened. He didn't see it directly, but he heard about it almost immediately. Someone who was there told him. Someone who was shocked at what they'd seen. Frank was furious. He was performing later that evening. He had a show scheduled in the main theater at the Sands. The place was packed. Hundreds of people were in the audience. The band was ready. The lights were set. Everything was prepared for a Frank Sinatra show. Frank came out on stage. The audience applauded. He waved. He looked happy and relaxed, the way he always did before a show. But then, instead of starting to sing, Frank stopped. He looked out at the audience. He was quiet for a long moment. Long enough that people started to wonder if something was wrong. Then Frank spoke.